Is it going live? It's sending the data. I got to check my streams to make sure it is doing its job.
Oh, nice. Birds. Burb.
I think a lot of this helps by having somebody yell at you to do this type of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
Who
why
yelled at you?
I've got our manager Jackie, who's just like, you gotta do the Twitch, and I'm like, all right, I guess, sure, why not? So it's it's important. It's important,
good
and
to
I
keep
know
to a
it's like
schedule,
eating
too.
your vegetables at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's
Okay,
yeah. Oh.
we're here. We got the chats are open, guys. Welcome to the. Actually, I should do this. There we go. Before I show them off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crow's Nest. We have doing another lovely interview with my good friends, the Wrongbirds. Give it up, everybody.
Hey, we're
Yay.
here. Hello.
Yeah, they're there.
Hello.
Welcome. The chat is blowing up. They're going
Oh,
crazy.
We're getting the chat pulled up now.
Yeah.
Oh, see, these are professionals because
No, yeah, he's got a dual screen, man. He's
gotta
look at
hear,
that.
gotta hear what's happening.
that's how I
gamer.
know you're an engineer, because you have 2 monitors.
Yeah.
Out of the space.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yes. So basically, how the show works, people already kind of know, but we're diving in deep. We want to know the creative process. You guys got some great fucking songs, but we want to know how the schmuck who's just picking up the guitar today could emulate the Wrongbird path. You know, like if they wanted to find their weird way of like getting into music. Like I personally feel like I came to music in a very backwards way. So seeing different people's approaches is very fascinating to me. So I guess we should just start with introductions. Who are you guys? Names?
Well, hello. Well, my name is Eric,
I'm Michael.
Awesome.
and we are Wrongbird.
Kaka.
Cacao!
Now, we were talking about this before. Why is it bird and not birds? Because there's multiple of you guys.
That's
You
true.
have the opposite
That's true.
problem that I have, which is when for a while I was solo because my band members quit, and I was still going under the plural name, but you guys are one. So
Yeah, you went full Panic at the Disco with it.
I did,
Yeah.
and I hated it because that pissed me off more than anything. I'm like, just do
No.
your own solo project at that point, man.
No, yeah, well, actually, and that's funny because this band started as a solo project for me. I was in college still, in the middle of Indiana, in the middle of nowhere, and the idea was my full name is Eric Baker. It's like the most generic name of all time, and so I thought if I'm gonna start, I was just writing music, and I had my first album. It's the one that's on our first album on Spotify, Pin Me the Opposite.
Oh,
I'd
nice.
written that and recorded it, and we didn't have a band name yet, or I didn't have an artist name yet. And so I thought it'd be fun to have a pen name. So instead of Eric Baker, it was Wrongbird Erickson. That was like this guy's name. And so the Erickson was like Eric, so I was like still in it a little bit, but it was just supposed to be a way to make the name more interesting than Eric Baker, because who wants to go to see the Eric Baker band? That sounds so lame.
Dude, my
Yeah.
name is John Adams. So I have like
Man,
the worst.
I'm gonna be honest. When you sent me that email, I'm like, is this for real?
Yeah, no, it's a double-edged sword. Because I either have to really go into it or completely
Yeah.
change my name and like.
Where's your powdered wig, man?
Exactly, dude. If
kidding.
my joke comedy band name would be John Adams and the House of Representatives, like that would be the that would be the
actually
name.
pretty
But I'm
good.
like, I don't wanna do this. I've been
Nah,
dealing with this shit since middle school. I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
so it started as that, and that was
Yeah.
Wrongbird Erickson, and I was in college. And then I moved to Austin with that record. I had Epitome of the Opposite just released, and I met people like Michael and some other people in town, and was basically forming a band to play live in Austin. And first of all, you can spell Erickson like 5 different ways. So the poster was always wrong.
Search engine
sucks.
optimization
Yeah,
was garbage.
as an engineer, you would tell me that's a bad idea. And then also, it was just becoming more collaborative in nature. When we recorded an EP when I basically first moved, called "Who Is Wrongbird," and we intentionally cut off the Erickson as "Who Is Wrongbird? Who's this new band?" So it is like Wrongbird is still kind of me. Wrongbird is kind of me and Michael. And it's
Yeah.
also kind of the band. It's like a Shaky Grave situation or anything
Totally.
like that, where it's like
I love
you
Shaky.
have the name of the artist, but it's also the band. So I call myself Wrongbird, but we're Wrongbird. It's
You know what's really
we're
funny
all
now
together.
that I know where it comes from, it definitely sounds like a name. Like Oh
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Wrongbird, what are you doing? Like you're just like
Yeah.
it's not Wrongbird, but Wrongbird. You know?
Yeah. And the amount of times people have heard it as like Ron Bird, or like literally
yeah.
people have thought that, which is actually really funny too. So it became another weird name in its own. Yeah. If you don't write it out, sometimes people have to be like, like a songbird that's not right. And there's always that. Like that's the part of it
that's
too.
a good one.
It's the implication of the, we don't have it figured out kind of thing. Wrong Rock kind of became our
Wrong
moniker.
Rock. I like
That's
that.
right.
That's very good.
The contrary canary of Austin, Texas. We have 1 million of them now. At this point, we've had enough time to think of it. We have a lot of taglines.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, we don't. We got just parody band names for us, like the the Upstate Cows, the Sheryl Crows.
Oh, that's good, dude. I like that.
It's just mostly of us making fun of our own names.
There's so many ways you can take Wrongbird and stick it into another phrase and make a good album title out of it. And
oh man, we have EP titles. For
one in the
life.
wrong is worth two in the bird.
Yeah, two wrongs don't make a bird. Like we could keep on. I think of it like the Calvin and Hobbes titles, like of all those.
Oh,
books.
totally.
It's just like it's just a phrase with like a pun in it. We could just keep doing that.
100%. That's great. I love that. So a little bit. This is the first I'm doing with two people, so I'll need you guys to both answer these kind of questions. So I kind of want to go a bit about the past, and I'd love to see where people get their interest in music. Did you have a person in your lives that kind of, would you say, shaped your musical taste? Like I would say my mother, because my father doesn't listen to music at all, but my mother had a CD changer with over 100 CDs. Like, so I'm just kind of curious, was there music prevalent in your life? Who were the people that inspired you guys to really enjoy music in your past?
Well, for me it was kind of flipped. It was my dad. Just I like stereotypical dad rock, but in the best way. I mean, I was raised on Beatles are huge for me, and that was the band. It wasn't my dad's favorite band. Yeah, could you tell from the everything about us? But my dad wasn't. The Beatles aren't his favorite band, but they became mine. But he, he's more like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull is big for him. Like that kind of even the more dad rock, I would say. But it's all great. I love that stuff too. And I was raised on 10cc and kind of theatrical, crazy bands like that. ELO, all that stuff. I think I took a lot of inspiration from the art, the more artsy it got, like Bowie or any of that. I think that was the part of it that I really connected to, and I just thought it was a blast. Yeah.
I ran with it.
Yeah, my dad was very similar, but he he listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin. He listened to a lot of prog rock, which is great. I love I was listening to early Genesis and Pink Floyd and King Crimson when I was a kid, and but he hated the Beatles. He never listened to the Beatles.
And he's British too.
And he's British, yeah. And
I get that though. I got a British family, so they. So
yeah. My mom was the same.
A prophet's never respected in their hometown.
No kidding. My mom was the same way. She said she grew up and her mom would my grandmother would put on Yellow Submarine when my mom was just in the living room, and she would just go crazy just hearing "We All Live in."
Well, if that's your
on
only
loop.
song.
But my dad would also play Leonard Cohen records and stuff, and me and my sister would be there laughing at the silly lyrics, not realizing how depressing they were. And so that just hearing that.
Did you
and then
guys? Sorry, keep going.
I was just hearing that and coming of age and being oh wow, this is the music feels different. When you're older.
What they're actually singing about, you start realizing it more. Yeah.
Now, would you? I'm also just curious about this. Is were you getting also a bit of a music history as well? I personally found we had the 100 CD player, but I didn't know what was coming in, who was making what. It was just kind of just you're getting sounds and you're like, this sounds cool. I don't know who made it. I have no Shazam or anything, and it's gonna be a mystery in the big CD player. So, were you getting? Yeah.
I definitely had a few. There were some songs I can remember where it wasn't until I was adult I was oh, that's who sings that. But I remember that song as a kid. There's some of that because I didn't Google lyrics, or I have so many lyrics that I still hear wrong to this day. But it's insane the amount. This 12 years old on my iPod Shuffle being hearing it wrong for my whole life and then thinking that's what the lyric is. But there's a bunch of that. I think I don't know. I've always loved things because of the history of them. Like, I think I just respect. I don't know why. I'm just always like, oh, that was the first time that was done. That's really cool to me. So I was opposite of most kids are into the new thing or like the hip trend or something like that. And I was literally like the grumpy old kid at 10 years old being like, well, they used to make music. I would have been like in the YouTube comments like, music used to be good in the back in the day. And I was
I
kind
used
of
to be
a
that
stick
way
in the
too.
mud about a lot of that stuff. I've obviously come a long way now, and there's a lot of great music being made now. But yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely loved the history of it. And then I went back even further than my dad. Like, I took that, and then I went back to... I was the kid in high school looking up Sun House and Delta Blues and, like, New Orleans music. And I really took it even... My dad doesn't listen to that stuff. That's too old for him. But I just really got it. I kept on going back, you know. To all that stuff.
I'm a big White Stripes fan. I got really obsessed with them in college, and all their stuff. They like I think they in one of their records they like dedicated it to I believe Blind Willie McTell. So like I was like, oh, I got to know all this kind of stuff. And I'll be honest, a lot of that stuff is just hard to listen to because it is so old and just like the scratching of it all. But like you're totally right, that history of it all. I'm also a big fan of history. So if the name
Jack
doesn't
White
give
was
it.
my gateway to a lot of that too. Honestly, like it was hearing that and then going a step further and being like, oh, who's Skip James? I should listen to that. And then like you just keep going back. How about you, Mike?
I mean, like I mainly listen to like 60s and 70s rock when I was a kid, and then I would listen to like 2000s, 90s and 2000s pop music and like Nirvana and grunge and stuff like that. And so there's this huge gap in from the late 70s to the early 90s that I just didn't really have much musical context for. And then when I started discovering like Talking Heads or the Smiths or just punk rock in general, all of these genres that I just never paid attention to, it was like suddenly like, oh, now like the 90s makes sense, you know? Like there's this story to be told. And
totally.
I just like missed out on it. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a cool history of music to be told.
Oh yeah. But okay, interesting. Now, all right, obviously, guys in a band. I'm kind of curious what instruments you guys first started with. Like what is your main instruments? I guess because I'm just hearing the songs. I don't know who's making what. So
Sure, yeah. I'm piano is my instrument. It still is my main instrument for sure. Any bands in Austin outside of this that I'm playing an instrument for, I would not be a guitar player in a band. That would never be my primary thing. So yeah, I started on piano and then I self-taught guitar. I do rhythm stuff and like finger picking and stuff, but
nice.
I don't shred or anything.
Okay.
I'm the one person who started on bass, and then when I sort of joined a band, they already had a bass player, and so they made me play guitar as opposed to the other way around.
Dude, that's me. I was that guy.
Nice,
dude.
Anti-McCartney.
I look for every opportunity to play bass because bass is so fun.
It's funny. Well, I will say this is at the beginning. You know, my buddy was a very good guitar player, and I've mentioned this a bunch of times. And he was just like, "Hey, I want to start a band with you. You should play bass." And I was like, "I'm 10 years old." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And of course, none of the people had drive to form a band, so the band obviously fell apart. And then I was like, "Well, I don't want to just sit here and play bass in my bedroom, so I guess I'll get a guitar." And then my cousin gave me a guitar, and as it goes. So yes,
I feel like as a musician, I've seen so many like when you're a kid, bass is like the stereotype is that it's not as cool. But then as you grow up and you're an adult and you're a musician, bass is like the most respected thing ever. If you're a great bass player, you can groove. Like people think you're the coolest ever. But
bass
really,
and
drums.
You have to
long game. It's the long game.
Yeah, absolutely. I always have a thing that I say that drummers, like I have a lot of respect for drummers and bass players, and drummers are like pretty girls. They have options. They don't need you, and if they're in your band, it's because they like you. So be nice to your drummers.
Thank you, Tim Smith.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they lock in together. I think Tim and Dylan, they're our bass player and our drummer. They have a relationship that I'm so jealous of because they're the rhythm section.
The rhythm section, they get their own little group title. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
we don't get that.
If your bassist and drummer aren't making out, then how are you making good music? That's all I'll say.
Amen.
Now I'm kind of curious. So you got guitar, well, bass, and then guitar, and piano. Now I'm kind of curious with this simple question. where you guys started? Were you learning covers first or writing your own songs at the beginning? How did you approach learning the instrument? Because I think this is a kind of an interesting, in my opinion, a
I
path.
don't know. It kind of all came at once, you know? Like you start like you pick up a guitar because you hear someone play guitar and he sounds cool, so you want to play what they played. And then you realize like playing a cover is really only fun when you play it with other people. And then like there's then, you know, I think the most fun way to have fun playing music by yourself is writing or like coming up with new stuff or improvising or whatever. That came early. Like you start writing your first song and you know you finish it and then you realize you ripped someone off because you don't know how to write a song, and then you do that 100 more times, and then
Yeah.
eventually you come up with something halfway decent that you might show someone and they won't cringe.
Yeah.
But
No, I think I always, I don't know. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, I just liked playing like Elton John songs and stuff. But as soon as I was aware, I mean, I don't remember time playing music. It must have existed before. But as soon as I can remember being a musician, even as a kid, I just knew I was going to write songs. It just was, I didn't really think about it. And it was like playing music was just an instrument to be able to write songs. It wasn't like I thought of myself as an instrumental great player. And then fast forward, I come to Austin, and I like became a keyboard player in a bunch of bands and like take solos and stuff. But it was never something I thought I would be doing. I just
Totally.
thought I was like a guy that wrote songs, and then I happened to accompany myself. You know.
It's very funny. I similarly, I don't consider myself a musician. I consider myself more of a songwriter, because I'm like, I don't really know that much about music. I just take chords and put them together, and you know, bada bang, there's a song. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I relate
totally.
to that feeling very much. You were just talking about how you're in another band as well. I'm kind of curious what your guys' history with bands, and how many bands have you been in the past? It always seems like like from people I've talked to so far, a lot of people are in multiple bands before they get into like the one that they're really solid into. So
Yeah. Well, and if you're in Austin, you're still in multiple bands. That's just how the scene is here.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it's very incestuous. and-
I mean, yeah. Again, our bass player is in probably like 8+ bands at least, and he plays drums and guitar and like is just a utility guy all the way through. So he's a busy guy. But yeah, I actually, it's funny. I skipped my cringy high school band phase because I was doing worship music. So I was like playing in the church band.
Oh,
When it came to
okay.
me actually doing my own music, I really didn't. I basically started with that album I was talking about with Wrongbird Erickson and like starting with that. So it wasn't like I really had a lot of experience being just in normal performances out in clubs and stuff. I didn't really do that until I basically moved to Austin and was playing regularly at shows. It'd be like once a year I play a show in Indiana or Illinois, where I'm actually from.
These
and it took a
parallels
long
are
time.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude. I gotta say, because our first record is my first record that I've ever written as well. Like that's great. Yeah, because I got into music in college. Like I would, like I said, I did theater before, and then I was just like, well, you need something to do while I'm not doing plays. So
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then when I moved to Austin, like I said, I kind of was a songwriter. I thought I'd be doing that, you know, and still, you know, I was, but I ended up having a lot of success just because it's a guitar player town and they need keyboard players in Austin. It's just, I benefited from the scarcity of keyboard people in town. And so I really, I got lucky and I got to be in a few bands right away just as a keys player, and I'd sing harmonies and stuff too and all that. But I started learning how to play B3 organ because I was in a soul band and I didn't know how to do that. So there's a whole genre of music I had to tackle. And then currently I am in another band as well. I play for a band called Shiny Ribs. And that band's all over the place musically. It's a lot of fun. And I'm the keyboard player for them. And that's the band that we're about to open for on tour, actually. So so it goes to show you there. You can kind of make your two bands one band if you plan it out right. Two birds, one stone.
If you just smash them together hard
Yeah.
enough, then they'll become one band.
Manifest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I was the one who was playing in like garage bands when I was a kid. Like I was playing. I remember like I would watch my dad play and I would pick up the guitar when he was done and try and learn things. And then I would jam with my neighbor. And then I tried like a few bands when I was in middle school. And then I played a few shows in high school with like really crummy like garage rock like grunge metal bands that
Mm.
wasn't my. It was like that wasn't my style, but that was the only like bands that existed at the time. So it was like, well, guess I'll shred or something. I don't know. And then I don't know. Played in a few psych rock bands in college and a few cover bands here and there and filling in.
Yeah.
It was
I was always jealous of. We would have rehearsals and Michael would talk about all those. Oh, this gig we played when we were like 15, and I didn't have any of that. I was always like, I was
Yeah.
just playing. Yeah,
I always
worship
thought
set.
it was a rite of passage to have been taken advantage of by someone twice your age when you were 18 playing at a venue you shouldn't be playing.
To 10 people or whatever. Yeah.
Like have them just like swindle you out of $150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
God.
I skipped it. I live vicariously through you. But
Yeah.
I was in the pajama game in high school. I wasn't doing any of that kind of stuff. I was doing like local theater. But I swindled in a different way. Let's be honest. All arts kind of
I mean,
swindle
yeah.
you a little bit.
It's the funnel. The funnels they all lead to the same place. They just look a little different on the way
Yeah.
down.
The fact that they like charged kids to be in plays, which I always thought was
Are
kind
you
of strange.
kidding?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
Lord.
like yeah, it's I don't know. It was weird. I don't know if that's a standard thing, but that was in our local theater, and I stopped doing it because I was like, I don't want to. The high school is doing plays. We'll just do that. It's free. Why are we paying to do this? This seems crazy. But
Yeah.
that is weird. I didn't know that existed. Everyone, contrary to popular belief, I was not a theater kid. Although everyone thinks from our music that I was, but I didn't do any of that
oh,
stuff.
you're a
either.
liar then.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
people
we're
just
ended the-
lumped us into the. Yeah.
Ended the
People
stream.
lumped us into that, but it's just coincidence that we sound theatrical. But
I think
yeah.
it's that Beatles man. The Beatles. Paul
Yeah,
McCartney.
That's really what it is.
If Paul McCartney's a theater kid, I say it now. He just happened to be in a rock band. Maxwell
Absolutely.
Silverhammer, come on. Let's.
Yeah. Your mother should know. Little granny music.
Oh
I love
yes. Oh
it.
God,
I love
yes.
it. That's some of my favorite stuff.
We were just talking how you said that you're doing a lot of that early songwriting. Do you happen to remember any of the first songs you ever wrote?
I do. Some of them are really lame, and some of them made the record. I mean, honestly, there's a few songs on there that were some of my earliest things I can remember writing, and I'm like proud of it. You know,
Which-
like it's weird. On the first record, let's see. There's a song called "Waiting Game" that was really early on for me. I was definitely in the middle of high school when I wrote that. Let's see. "Pretty Lady" was a really early one too. These are all songs on Epitome of the Opposite. And then when I was in college, I don't know if you're like this when you write, but I am the opposite of if you don't remember it the next day, it wasn't worth recording. Like I have voice memos out, and there are some songs. Don't quote me on that. There's a bunch of songs that are like over 5 years old that just kept on being worked on, and then eventually they cooked, and then we had enough. It was just the time to record it. But then there's even songs we're working on now that parts of those ideas were probably even older than that. Like I was probably in college, and I don't know. I'm just like I just keep on. If I don't finish a song with that idea, I just shelve it, and then like I have a bridge I can put in a song if I need to someday. And that it's like an interchangeable part.
Yeah, it's very much like I have a terrible memory, so I have to. If I lived by that method, then no songs would be written because they'd all be gone. I hold on to anything for like years. I've got stuff that like you said, where you've written it. It was like on the first couple songs you wrote. It's just like this little nugget of an idea that's just sitting there until honestly, a lot of it is until I get the right theme for like what's the song's about.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that holds me up. But
Now it's weird is that even some of our earlier songs we've been singing for almost 10 years now, which is just like
Nuts.
Whoa.
it makes me feel old.
Tell me about how old are you guys, if you don't mind me asking? If you want to have the internet know.
yeah, we can dox ourselves. No,
Yeah.
I just turned 30 a month ago.
I'm 31.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
so
You old
couple
so-and-so.
young pups. That's what I say. I'm 34. So
Hey!
Oh, nice.
You're
Never would have
yes.
guessed.
We
The
love
old,
the 30s.
Yeah.
Bunch of 30-year-old men talking about
Is that
music.
some gray I see in the camera?
Yeah, what do you call a group of white guys in their 30s? A podcast.
We're living proof.
I
living
mean,
proof.
look, this was forced upon me.
Hey, it's video. It's at least
It's video. Yeah, exactly. There's no audio version of this. Oh, that's actually one of my first songs I ever wrote was "Wait for Me" off our first record, and that's I think
There's
the oldest
something
song.
really cool about. I love listening to first records, even if they're not my favorite of the band, like when you hear their first record, because you almost can guarantee one of those songs is like their first song they ever wrote.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Epitome of the Opposite was at least all the songs I thought were worth recording that I had written to that point. You know, it's not all my first stuff ever, my first ideas ever, but I mean, the ones that were viable, it was all of them. And then,
Totally.
you know,
You're just-
I'm not a person that has a huge backlog of, I really take a long time to write a song, so
Same.
that's why our records take a long time to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about that. It's like, wow, this is your first go round, and I didn't know how to make a record in terms of the production and stuff. I had a lot of great help from good producers to make it sound somewhat decent. Still, hopefully, it still holds up. I don't know.
I like it. I wasn't there, but I like it.
Yeah.
Just out of curious for your writing process, how do you like normally start with your songs? Is it kind of different each way, or do you have like a particular process that you usually go with?
It's like I said, voice memos are my friend. I think I try to, and this is why it takes me so long to write sometimes, because I really do try to do the melody and lyrics simultaneously, if I can. I think that that's always the best way when I write, when I think of the lyrics as to how they're going to fit in the actual song itself. I just don't think I'm really great at being like, I'm going to write a song about this. Let me get like a notepad and start writing just words
So you
down.
usually have like some type
I'm
of
not
musical
great at that.
element first. Is that what you're saying?
I think I like start. Yeah, I'm like kind of humming something, and I kind of just start singing nonsense, you know. And then, yeah. I mean, it really just takes a long time to form, but I think I'll just hear, like, I'll want to sing the words to that melody. It's not like I can take it out and put it in another song, you know. I try to wait for the things to happen at the same time, which is again why it takes so long.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like I always start with a melody. Like it's something that like just pops into your head and it sounds interesting, and you try and draw it out as much as possible. And then lyrics for me, I don't know if this is insane, but a lot of times whenever I think of like a lyrical idea, I'll like just start like saying whatever, and it's complete nonsense. And then but it feels good like in my mouth to say. And then I go and find like phrases and words that fit, like kind of match those vowels and consonants to feel the same way but actually say something.
Yeah, I do a lot of stream of consciousness too, like sit down 10 minutes and just literally there's no bad ideas, just as the words come in your head, you're typing as fast as you can, or you're writing as fast as you can. I do that a lot because a lot of my songs start that way, and then I find out the association later. I'm like, oh, that song was about this time in my life, or it's about this concept. I didn't even know that as I was writing it. Definitely, I feel that way too.
I have that thing. It's I have a bit of a like Schrodinger's cat with that, where I do where you're just saying nonsense words, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm coming up with some good ideas. I should hit record, but as soon as I hit record, my brain now knows that I'm recording, and it just doesn't flow as well. So it's a real. I kind of have to like do it longer so that I'm hoping I'll catch the words faster, so I can be like, okay, that was a good phrase, and it's.
It's like trying to remember a dream you had, you know, or something like that.
Exactly.
It's like you have to really train that muscle to hold on to something.
Yeah.
If it's worth it, and then I have an equal amount of, or more than that, of voice memos. I had a melody pop in my head at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, and I listen back to it, and I'm like, this is nothing. It's just me going, and I'm like, that is not what a key is.
That's the Jurassic Park thing.
Nothing.
I have
there you go.
I have a voice memo from like 10, 15 years ago at a Flaming Lips concert. And I was hearing a song and I was like, this is great. I have a melody in my head and I recorded it, and of course all you can hear is the Flaming Lips. But I remember at the time being like, this is a killer melody. I gotta save this. And I don't know what it was.
You can probably, with some technology now, separate it.
Like,
maybe you can find, like how they did Get Back, you can find a way.
And I'll pull it out
totally.
and it'll be terrible.
Yeah, I find myself writing lyrics at shows of other bands a lot of times. Whether it's
funny.
an artist, like a big artist, or somebody even local that I'm just a fan of. If I don't know,
I think
feel
it's just
more
them
inspired.
saying words, and then you'll grab onto one, and then you'll be like, oh, I could take like, it's just like, like, you know, it like skeleton. And you're like, oh, well, maybe if I take that word and combine it with that, and it's like it feels like you're stealing, but you're not, because it's not like you're taking the whole phrase.
Songwriting's piggybacking, and it's just like that's directly like being like, I'll take that in this direction.
I think there's something creatively fascinating about the first time you hear a song, where I see. I think this is like a fun exercise to like listen to a song for the first time and like, when the chorus is coming, and so like listen to the verse and then the pre-chorus, and then right when the chorus happens, just hit pause and just sing whatever you think the chorus is gonna be. And more often than not, you feel like I know where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
And you're never right, but it's always something useful or interesting.
That is I've never heard of that.
Dude,
that's a really good idea.
I think that's where like whenever I think of a melody at a concert, it's because I hear something and I'm like, I know where this is gonna go, and then I'm wrong.
Yeah. I think there's
that's a
there's
really
this
good idea.
YouTuber guitarist, I forget her name. She literally did that with a John Mayer song. I think he like showed like a snippet of a verse, and then she tried to fill in the rest of the song.
Yeah, Mary
I-
Spender, I think it was.
Yes, I think it
Yeah.
is. And she did that where she tried to fill out the rest of the song because he didn't post the whole thing. So that just made me think of that. That's
This
amazing.
is a much, I saw someone do this about the Taylor Swift album when it got announced because it was just the track list and people were like, and it was kind of, I think, a commentary on how generic it would be anyway. So they just kind of like saying things that sound, and I'm like, I could see it sounding like that. I'm sure it won't be the exact vibe, but it's like, it might be close. We'll find
Yeah.
out.
Oh God. Oh, Taylor Swift. Are you guys both songwriters for the band, or is there like, do you like split song responsibilities, or is it kind of like someone brings like how does it usually work for you guys?
I feel like for this project, like it normally starts. I'll usually get at like 70% there, at least in terms of the lyrics and the melody and the kind of general vibe. But I don't really arrange. I mean, I'll tell Michael I think this could have a cool string part in it. Like when Western Hero came in, for example, I was like, this would be cool to have a string swell in the beginning, and I kind of know where it's gonna go. But I try not to finish it to the point where I'm like too attached. There's a bunch of songs for our latest album, don't quote me on that, where like I brought an idea that I thought even was going to go a certain direction, and the lyrics and everything are done, but then like Michael will take it in a different way. So it's about like I don't believe, maybe it could work for some people, but I don't believe you just sit in a room and be like, well, what's the first chord we're gonna play? Like
Totally.
I've never had success with that, or even just like we're gonna jam till something fun happens. I'm not that kind of guy myself. I just never have found it to really work. In terms of writing, it's fun. But
It's
not
very
like,
fun,
yeah.
but I think that what we've been like, I used to.
Yeah.
That's how I used to write music with bands,
Yeah.
and this is way more productive.
You
and
gotta
it's
like have,
and
and it keeps the identity of the band a
exactly,
little.
yeah. There's a really
I-
consistent voice.
Yeah.
I
Even if the songs
we
sound
kind of work the
different.
same way. I'm more of a chords first, then lyrics and melody, because then I at least have a structure, and it's very. I always like to describe it as a it's almost like a movie soundtrack. Like what is this? What is the movie that we're watching that these like the music is playing, and then that's usually
cool.
I'll try to write from that perspective.
Yeah.
But and we also in a very similar way where I bring the chords and the lyrics, and I'm like, this is what I got, Forrest. What do you think? And he's like, rip that up. Let's put that over there. I call him my editor because he really polishes my turds. What can I say?
Dude, it's the
Is
fun,
that what editors do?
That's the fun part.
I mean, kinda.
He's your plumber.
He's.
I don't know.
yeah,
was
we gotta. We've talked about releasing like a special edition of Don't Quote Me on That, and I really want to put out like the really early demos of Playing God.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, that
if
was the one I was thinking of.
That song just transformed during like the sort of editing process. But yeah, that's like
like if you listen to that song, it's like a kind of funky jam. It's really dancey and more not more energetic because a lot of our songs are energetic, but it's more like dancey than a lot of our music tends to be. And when I brought it to the band, it was like a ballad. It was a sad ballad of a song.
You got
all,
the thing you do. Wait, what's that movie? The oh god, that thing.
That
she
Thing You
does.
Do?
Yeah, you think you. That's what happened to you. Your drummer just started playing it loud.
Yeah. So Michael was like, "What if we made this song fun?" And I was like, "That's a good
what
idea."
What if we kick the tempo up by like 30 clicks?
Yeah. What if the song "Playing God for Fun" was fun?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
oh,
the ideas start with him, and then we just kind of like workshop them and then like polish them in the studio. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
okay, interesting. Do you So all right, so you're kind of like the guy leading the charge in that sense. I'm also Do you have any like tips or tricks you kind of use to help you like in your creative process? You know how like I said where it's like the movie soundtrack is the big thing that I kind of use to help
Yeah,
guide me.
I mean, I don't know. This might sound like generic advice, I suppose, but I just try to find. I write songs that I would want to hear. You know, like I only really believe in writing music that you enjoy. So I would just say to write about the things you're interested in, or make music. And maybe there's stuff similar out there, but like I try to write something about like I haven't heard a song that goes like this in this way. You know, I'm gonna try to make that song.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
and
great, man.
I think it's having a unique voice, and you know, and one thing I've learned in the last year of this band is that you might think that you have a unique voice and you're kind of just making music for an audience of one, and then all of a sudden you might find this whole niche exists around your music you didn't know was there. So, because when we made this last record, it was like, it was not, oh, we're gonna get the Will Wood fans on this. I had no idea who Will Wood was. It was just like I was making music and I'm the Beatles guy, and I was, you know, I like New Orleans music, like I said, so I was kind of spooky with it, and I had influences, but it wasn't like I'm gonna make a song for this audience. It totally just happened.
Yeah,
and it ended up being a great blessing. It's been really exciting. But
that's very funny. I'll be honest, I discovered Will Wood before I wrote my Will Woodish song. But it, like from our path, I've always described it as like I want to do swing music, but I'm in a rock band. How the hell do I do that? And this is the closest I've gotten. And he kind of nailed it. And I was kind of mad because I was just like, this guy just nailed the vibe I've been thinking about since I was 15 years old, and he just crushed it. So I made my version of it.
There's so many great artists in that space, you know.
Yeah. We were just talking about him. Sparkbird.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many great people. And I mean, there were people I was thinking of. Like I love Tom Waits, and like Squirrel Nut Zippers was like that was my swing music for rock bands. So it wasn't like I was in a vacuum just coming up with that idea alone. But a lot of it was I didn't think anyone would be interested in it anyways.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
To find that there was an interest in it was like that was surprising.
Yeah.
Out of all of our singles, I didn't know that the spooky 1920s one was going to do well. And it just kind of
the Disney villain music. That's what we got called once.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, you're speaking of like influences and stuff a little bit. Was there anything when you like any other mediums you find that kind of helps you get inspired for your songwriting, books, movies, television, stuff like that?
So much so. And Michael will make fun of me, but if you've read Kurt Vonnegut, you know where all my lyrics come from. I am.
Hell yeah.
I read Cat's Cradle for the first time last year, and it was like the Danny DeVito meme where I was like, "Oh my god, I get it!"
This was a
I understand Eric.
Like the tone, just everything, and like some direct quotes in some of his books that have made their way into being lyrics and Wrongbird songs, like actual explicit references. But yeah, I mean, if you read any Kurt Vonnegut novel, there's gonna be a line you read where you're like, "Isn't that line in a Wrongbird song, kind of?" Or like, "Isn't something like that?" Or even the concept, or sometimes the actual phrase itself, a random sentence will just show up in a song of mine. That's a big one for me. And I mean movies and stuff too, for sure. There's like specific examples I could think of, I'm sure. But that's one of my big voices for me.
Totally. Yeah, I've definitely done that. Shakespeare, like, ironic, well, the band name being a Shakespeare reference. I was a big Shakespeare nerd in high school, so I definitely stole lyrics because it's, you know, it's fucking poetry. So it's like you just sound smarter.
Absolutely.
Oh god.
I think everyone has their version of that for sure. Their muse.
Yeah.
Do you have something like that?
Kind of. I mean, like I think a lot of movies tonally kind of do that for me. Like a lot like PTA movies, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That kind of tone, like where it's like kind of sinister, but also kind of just like unsettling, but not like in a horror way, just in just like a dramatic way. I think it's really interesting. And then like similarly, like books like I don't know, like All the Pretty Horses, or you know, The Road, those kinds of books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You like some nihilism.
The desolate nihilism.
You like to
I
be
think
depressed.
but I always think that like the cool thing is like when you like really enforce those things, it makes the like that desolation, it makes things that are like more hopeful or inspiring. The parts of the book or the movie or whatever that have inspiration or hope are more stark and more like apparent. It makes you focus in on them and, you know, appreciate them.
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, Kurt Vonnegut is that way too. I think he's
Yeah.
pretty like, in a lot of ways, a depressed person, but he also does find like, there's always like a little bit of hope, no matter how cynical he is.
Well, you got to
Yeah.
find the
Which
beauty
is
in the
kind of
darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Wrongbird is. I think sometimes, like songwriting wise, I call it like skipping through a graveyard. You know,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
kind of like you find some kind of bright side, and especially now, but just in
Oh,
general,
totally.
how life can be. You know, it's about and like I think there's like laughing at the absurdity is a pretty big theme in Wrongbird music. I think like especially being like the joke's on me, like isn't that ridiculous? But
Yeah.
also like I'm such a small little speck in the world. Isn't that like actually kind of comforting instead of being daunting? Like there's a lot of like twisting of that, you know, where you would think it'd be a depressing thought, but you try to find a way to make it positive.
Well, it's almost like
Yeah.
well, like with all I always write really depressing music because I'm always like, well, in storytelling you need conflict, and if you can't write a happy song unless you just say how happy you are all the time. Like having
Yeah.
that, you need that sour to make the sweet, your
Yeah.
dips and dives to go back into your storytelling. That's just natural. It's Luke falling in
Absolutely.
after getting his arm cut off.
Yeah.
Gotta knock
yeah.
your heroes down so they can build them back
Exactly.
up.
Do you actually, since we're talking, would you say there is a particular song that you guys have released that's like particularly personal to you guys?
Yeah. I really do. I'm not a great. I've not until recently made an effort to be great, even at writing personal to me specifically. I've always just felt like, and maybe it's because like I know what the reference is to, so it doesn't sound interesting to me. Because I always like lyrics when they're like, "What is that? What's he talking about?" I hate when you can tell exactly
Totally.
what the lyrics mean on surface level. So I've always resisted that writing in a way that's like too obvious or too personal. I don't know, maybe I've had a problem with the vulnerability of it or whatever. And I'm not like a great, like I don't write like love songs really or just kind of standard pop music stuff. I just haven't really been able to do it. Not like I wouldn't want to. I just don't even I can't come up with those kinds of ideas as much as I even would try. So, but there are a few, especially on the latest record, that are pretty personal to me. Jennifer Lady is one of the ones. I think it's kind of the emotional core, especially the first half of that record. And it's about I mean that song is literally about occurrence in my life or before my life even. It's about my sister who was died in childbirth, and so it's a song about her, and we have the same birthday. So it's kind of like that was that's a very specific song about a specific thing that's personal. But you wouldn't even know that necessarily if you just heard the lyrics on their own, like a first pass of it. You might be able to piece some things together. But that's one for me that's like very, especially the outro of that song. I hope that the emotions are felt like you're kind of missing someone because it's supposed to feel that way.
Well, when I listened to it, I definitely
Yeah.
did not catch that, so I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna go through those lyrics again and see if I can decipher the code. I definitely
that
get
was
that.
a big one.
I definitely get that feeling of wanting to, it's you're trying to be personal, but by hiding it in metaphor to make it a little bit easier to approach. As I definitely feel that.
The other one I say on on this latest record that's pretty personal to me, and it's in a different way. Western Hero is like as goofy as the lyrics to that song are. It really like is sincere to me. I grew up watching cowboy movies and then moving from Illinois, being a Midwestern guy, and then moving to Texas, and just kind of like, I don't know. It's satirical about the ideas of like what it's like to be in Texas and be a cowboy in Austin, and like it's not really how it is. But
Right.
I just, I don't know. I don't know why that song feels so personal to me, but it really does. I identify with that song a lot.
Hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys, you said you're from the Midwest. Where are you originally from before you moved to Texas?
Around like Chicago, like small town Illinois. If you know where Wayne's World is set, Aurora, Illinois.
Oh.
That's basically where I'm from.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What brought you to
that's my claim to
Texas?
fame. Austin and the whole music scene. down
Oh,
here.
just like the
Yeah.
music scene in general. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's just I was in college and I had been learning about this scene in Austin, and I thought it was I just thought it was something I wanted to get involved in, and I was making that album. So when I finished it, I was like, I'm gonna come here and see what I can do. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Where are you originally from? Are you from Texas?
No, I was actually born in England, and
Oh, hell
I grew
yeah.
up. Yeah, moved to Texas when I was 5 months old, and I grew up just outside of Houston. I came to Austin in 2012, so I've been here a while. But yeah, it's just Texas has just been where I've lived my whole life, and
Okay.
I like Austin has a big pull for me. It's like I live in Austin or I don't live in Texas, kind of.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
It is I mean, yeah, it definitely is its own identity outside of the rest of Texas. in a lot
It's
of
funny.
ways.
I've never been to Texas,
Not
so I have
not
no
singularly. I mean, there are other places
I
in
don't.
Texas that are
I don't
great.
hate Houston.
Yeah, yeah.
Houston's
I love a lot.
got
of
a lot of
places.
great stuff going on.
idea.
DFW, sometimes.
I am kind of curious what the Austin scene is like, because being from New York, our scene is so shattered. Like there's a million different scenes happening all at once that you don't even
It's
know
so
about.
big. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
and Austin has grown so much. It's all you hear about when you move here. But I do think that it still does feel the scene itself. It's like it doesn't take you too long to at least know about most bands that are doing things.
I feel like
God,
there
I
is
kind of miss that, to be honest.
there is kind of that that small community feeling where it's like everyone is just by what bands people are in, everyone is 6 degrees of separation from everyone else at
Yeah.
the most.
I think if you went to lunch with a person in the music scene every day in Austin, you would meet most people you have to meet within a year. It's just that's who's gigging,
Yeah.
that's who the people are to know. And
that's so
and
funny.
and like I mentioned earlier too, like Dylan plays in 20 bands. That's an exaggeration, but not even that much of exaggeration. Everyone in Austin does play in multiple projects, and they all have their own project. Like before, now I'm in Shiny Ribs and Wrongbird basically exclusively, but it was a period of time when I was in more projects than that. And you still pick up, I'm gonna play on my friend's record who wants me to record something for it. It's just there is this weird spider web of people. You play drums in my band and I play keys for you, or everyone is really intermingled in this crazy way. And it's really encouraging. I think people are generally rooting for each other in a way that I've heard is different in other places. I don't want to disparage the Nashville scene, but I've heard it's a lot more competitive and a little more cutthroat, where
That's what I've heard that too.
I'm trying to be successful. I want to climb whatever ladder there is. And in Austin, the ladder might be not as high, but I don't think it's as hard to get there, or it's not as
But there's
aggressive.
plenty of people trying to help you up.
Yeah,
Oh, totally.
it is. I always say it's when I moved here is oh, you make music? You want to come over and we'll play some songs together, or join the party? That's how it's always felt to me. And maybe I just got lucky and met the right people up top. But I still, and then when people, and now I've been here for 7 years, so I'm a veteran, even though I don't feel like it. So people ask me, what to do, and I find myself trying to be welcoming to them because I was super welcomed when I got here. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's my big takeaway, I guess, from Austin.
Yeah.
That's
It's still
amazing.
great. A lot of things are not great happening. I hate the tech thing. There's so many things that
Yeah.
are going wrong in Austin, but there still is great music. And if you look for it, the venues per capita in this town are still insane. There's awesome things going on every night of the week. It still is a great town, even though it's growing and crowded and expensive.
I mean hey,
That's
I
my
live in New York
summation.
City, man. I know that exact
Yeah.
problem.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
crowded. It's but you could definitely find your pocket of where you belong. I originally came from New Hampshire. That's where I grew up and stuff like that, and I had to leave because nobody was doing the stuff I was doing. It was all emo. It was
Yeah.
modern baseball, emo music or metal. If you didn't do those two things, people were like, "Oh, we don't want to hear your weird jangly theater songs. Get out of here." So
Oh, sure.
I was just I gotta go find a place where we can just kind of hide away. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
just finding your scene is it's so nice. One thing we do in our scene, there's a venue called the Econo Lodge, which yes, it's like the hotel, but it's not. They do this thing called the band lottery every year, and basically it sounds like you guys just do it naturally, but what they do is you basically make a bunch of teams of bands. You get a drummer that's a team captain for each of these fake bands, and you have less than 24 hours to write 3 songs for a show later that night. And the band forms, you write 3 songs, you do a show, and then it's gone forever. and then it's
That is
such.
I've
awesome.
always wanted to do something like that.
That sounds-
that's
yeah, that's
so
a
cool, dude.
Very truncated version of what what
It's
Austin's
so-
like.
It's
that
so
sounds
much
great.
fun. It really kind honestly, if you need like a good kick in the butt creatively, I highly recommend it because you're just like no time, especially you because it sounds like we write the same way where it's just
Yeah.
sitting there forever. It just forces you to write something and then you're like, oh wow, that's pretty great. Honestly,
Yeah, that's really cool.
for anyone in the stream right now, start your own local band lottery. It is a great way to find musicians and build a community. So that's
I would
my
love to
my
get that
PSA.
happening in Austin. We'll start the Austin branch.
Let's do it.
Oh, I can.
Okay.
After the stream, I can hook you up with the people who do it. So if you actually want to,
Yeah, no,
see?
for real.
yeah.
I love it.
Love some
All right.
wisdom.
All right, guys. Now I think we're probably about in the halfway point of my questions. So let's move on to the performance section, the real thing that the people are here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you guys play a couple of songs. What are you guys planning on playing for us tonight?
Well, we can do. So it's usually 2 songs is what you do.
One or two, up to you.
Yeah. Well, we can do an old song and a new song. How about
do it.
that?
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Okay.
Awesome,
Wait, what's
I'm
awesome.
gonna grab my. Even though I just said I'm not a guitar player, I'm gonna grab my guitar.
It's easier. I get
Me
it,
too.
ladies and gentlemen. Well, I won't let them set up. Oh, there we go. Anyways, while they're setting up, you guys let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna just talk to the audience because I don't think they can hear you right now. Ah, yes. Thank you for sticking around so far. It's the Crow's Nest. We've been hanging out with Wrongbird as they've been getting ready. If you like what you see here, definitely follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Also, TikTok. We also have a Discord channel that you can hang out and post obscure memes. But yeah, how you doing? How you guys sound over there? You guys ready? Okay. All right, everybody. The Wrongbirds. Wrongbird.
Singular. Until we expand. I was talking about that song Western Hero. We're gonna start with that.
Well, mama, I feel like I could be a Western hero. Mama, I feel like I could be a Western hero. No need to quote me out there. Yeah, mama, I feel like I could be a Western hero. Mama, I feel like I could saddle up my horse and go. No need to quote me out there. And the very next time my ticket comes in, I find myself a nice sunset to ride off in. I may need to lay off of that hyperbole. Mama, I feel like I could be a Western hero. Mama, I'm sad to say it's time I leave my own home. No need to quote me, don't quote me out there. And the very next time my ticket comes in, I find myself a nice sunset to ride off in. I might fix myself a plate of those grits and gravy. Maybe I try some old homemade mashed potatoes. I may need to lay off of that hyperbole. 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 Hyperbole.
Don't quote me on that. That's the record too.
Hell yeah.
How's
I
that
love
sounding?
that song. Oh, it sounded
Thanks,
great.
man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we can be doing more. Here, we're
Yeah.
gonna do a new song actually. I was telling people in our Discord. We have a Discord, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Go
Do all
to
the
our-
plugging.
go to our-
Plug it all.
Yeah. Yeah, we have. We're at Wrongbird Band and all the stuff, and then we Discord. I try to chime in there, trying to do it more often. I'm bad at. We talk about social media and our aptitude for it, and mine is not there. But I, been trying to be more active, and we were talking about doing a new song, so I thought I'd try one out. I'm tuning real quick. Also, don't.
No,
mind
no
me.
worries, no worries. Yes, check. I get we got a Discord as well, and I used to just use it to play some video games with friends, and then I found out you could do these server things, and it's been a lot of fun learning about memes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, we used to do our band meetings via Discord, just like voice chatting, and then that's the only reason I had one. And so my name was something like Wrong Boy 95. It was like so stupid because I don't know. It wasn't like I used it for anything.
Yeah.
I just used it for the band. And
Totally.
So, and I'm not I love video games and like that stuff, but I'm not really I'm not good at technology or any kind of Discord. I just didn't know how to really use it. So I remember asking in my Discord, "Hi guys, I'm Wrongbird. How do I change my name to not be Wrong Boy 95?"
I have
People were great in there. They helped us out.
I have a friend who she is colloquial. Her nickname in the Discord of ours is Admin Amy because she's very involved in book talk and all that stuff, so she knows Discord very well from all those groups she's
sure,
part
yeah.
of. So I'm like, help me, please. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's actually that's one thing about it's been really interesting, and I haven't really had to put into practice a whole lot. There's a few people that we've, kind of became friends outside of just them liking the band and stuff, and we've communicated with them more. But a lot of people have usernames and stuff, and so it's fun to say them out loud because it's just I'm so used to reading this, and then when you say it, it's that's what I call it.
My problem is we have a couple people who keep changing theirs, and I'm like, oh, we have a new person, and it's like, no, this is me, and I'm like, why did you change your name then?
I think that should be illegal.
Yeah. Throwing us off. We can't keep up.
And you have them on different, they're on Instagram as one name, and then another thing on Discord, and it's just like, I can't.
Yeah, I've
keep
run
up
into
with
that too, where I'm like, oh, a new comment on YouTube, and I'm like, oh wait, I know that person.
this. Yeah. What's the name of this next song?
Yeah, this is a brand new song. And we talked about being swindled while being an artist before, so I thought it would be appropriate to try this song out. It's a song called "All Artists Must Starve."
All artists must starve. That's the thing they must do. No choice in the matter if they want to be true. All artists must starve so they have room to feel, digest inspiration instead of a meal. You would teach a fish how to swim. You wouldn't dare be so arrogant. Please don't try to take my crying from me. All artists must starve. That's the way that it works. So they don't feed their egos and end up as jerks.
I'm
You
still
can
here.
come back now.
I was like,
I'm
wait,
back.
is something gonna drop? Like, what's?
I
Oh,
dropped.
That's great. That's a great ending of a song. I love that. That's ooh. You telling
Wait
me you're
till-
not a theater kid? Get out of here. Come on.
Exactly right. The allegations are true. Thank you, man. That was fun.
Oh, those are great. Those are great songs. Oh god. Oh god, it just makes me think of all like the whole artist needing to be starving artists for the like. Oh god, that's the one thing that bothers the hell out of me. Just like they need to suffer. It's like no, they're trying to do a job here.
Yeah.
Come on, just
Yeah, that's where that song came from. I literally was, I think I was like, I was really having a writer's block moment. So I was on like a website that had like songwriting prompts on it. And I just was like a Reddit thread and someone was talking about how like, yeah, the best, yeah, like basically I have to be depressed to make good music. I was like, no, you don't. But I basically took that idea, yeah, of a starving artist to the extreme. What does that mean? Or like to be
totally.
proud of it, you know, like, yeah, that basically is where that song came from. And yeah, we'll be recording it. There'll be a great record version of that. It's not going to be as acoustic.
So it's
as
not
this.
out
We'll have the full
currently?
band. Not out currently. No, that was a preview. Yeah,
It's exclusive. I don't know if it's an exclusive, but I'm calling it an exclusive.
No, it's exclusive, man.
Oh
Yeah.
wait. Only at the Upstock Crows Twitch channel do you get
Yeah.
these exclusives,
That's
baby.
why you gotta go to the nest.
The nest, yes. We're all hanging out in the nest right now, guy. Oh my god, amazing stuff. I also that first song was the harmonies were very nice. Some real
thanks.
Beatles-esque stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Should be no surprise.
It's
Wait,
funny,
get
my
the third part in there.
What's that?
Getting the third part. In
Oh
there.
yeah. We have a third. There's a third harmony on that when we have Dylan.
my God.
So that's why you have to come see us live on tour if you live in the southeast. Come see.
Oh yeah,
We have our tour dates are all posted and everything on our Instagram and TikTok too. But yeah, you should definitely go see us on tour. We're hitting New Orleans, a lot of spots in like Alabama, Birmingham, Waverly, Alabama. We're going to Nashville. That'll be fun. Atlanta, Charleston's gonna be awesome, and then we're playing a festival in South Carolina too. So definitely, yeah, look up wrongbirdband.com/shows.
absolutely.
How about that
just-
for a plug? Oh my lord.
There we go. Honestly, beautiful. I just threw the link to your link tree in our chats, so the folks at
Oh,
home
heck yeah.
can get all that stuff right there. I hope
That's
it worked.
awesome.
It's very long.
It did.
You know,
It
it's-
worked like a charm.
There we
Yeah.
go. Perfect. Amazing. So speaking of just, this is the part of the interview section that I like to kind of just more talk about, like the nuts and bolts of being in a band and stuff like. I'm getting a little, we're all in the phase, I feel like, where people are paying attention to us a little bit, which I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's very weird for me. Unlike you
Yeah.
guys, I haven't been in a million bands. I've tried joining bands, but they never really took off, or they did one show and then we were done, and then
Yeah.
I also just have my memory is awful, so I'm like, they're like, remember all these songs, and I'm like, I could barely remember my own songs. You expect me? But
yeah. I mean, it's definitely new. I feel like we're still. I'm still at the point where I'm shocked if someone's heard of our music. So, or people
Totally.
that know our lyrics and can make references to it. It's kind of crazy. We even did like a Texas run earlier in the year, and it was like being at a show in Houston, and we had some fans come out, and it was like, oh my god, we have fans. What is happening?
And then
Someone
they-
wore a shirt,
And
like,
then they
yeah.
came to a show in Austin.
Yeah.
a few
It
months
was,
later.
like people went, like if you leave a town to see us make music, that's insane. People are
Oh,
normally leaving
yeah.
town when we're playing.
They're like, oh, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in,
I just don't want to go.
I'll
not
be
here.
in jury duty. Yeah, I'm
I-
sorry.
Have you just gotten like the
Signing up.
more bold, just like I don't want to go, and it'd be like respect.
I
honestly.
haven't. I honestly haven't.
dude. I appreciate it.
I'm like, yeah, man, that's great. It just means I don't have to bother you anymore. And like,
Yeah,
I'm
take
shocked
you
if
off the
anyone
mailing
comes to our
list.
shows. I'll be honest, because
Yeah,
the online
yeah.
stuff is nice, but like to like translate that into, because like we're still playing to a lot of empty rooms right now. If I'm perfectly honest with us, because New York City's so big and everyone's doing a million stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always
It's we're definitely like, we know when we're gonna be having a good night, but there are nights. I mean, I think most bands, unless you're like very established.
Mm.
Like you're gonna have an empty room night like pretty often, or like at least somewhat often. If
Totally.
you're traveling outside of your hometown.
Oh
especially.
yeah.
And yeah, Austin's a big. Obviously, it's smaller of a city, but the amount of music going on every weekend, like we'll have a weekend where I'm like, oh, I don't know anyone else playing this weekend. It's gonna be, won't be a lot of competition. And then as the months get closer and the show approaches,
Yeah.
like a bunch of bands that I love in town are playing a show also. I'm like, dang it! Like now you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Like I would go see them. They're great.
Yeah.
So we're finding, yeah, I think we are at that spot where we've like had a little bit of online success, and then it's like it's working on translating that into people seeing you live, which is why we're trying to travel and stuff.
Is it translating into your local scene though? Like
Not
you said,
locally at all. It's
not
weird.
at all.
It's a complete. I think it's just a completely different like front you're fighting on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
The-
separated.
The online stuff is like it's great because like you form like community of people who are like super into your music and who want to stream it and interact with other people who like your music. But like in a local scene is so it doesn't work like that. I don't think like
We would have to be playing like every, a show every week. Like we'd have to be. You can go that approach, or the approach we've kind of fallen into is the other way, where we're like
which I feel like
building fans outside of town, and now
Yeah.
we're trying to in town have a local scene. It's really interesting. Although there are people that we have like in our Discord and people that follow us online that do live in town, which is great. So
Yeah.
we do. I mean,
that is good.
just statistically, we have a few people that are like fans of ours locally, which is really encouraging because then they enjoy seeing us, and it's great. And they're not just like people that we know already.
Yeah.
That's always the sign. And the more that's happened as us as a band, the more times we played a show and people are there because they know our music than they don't know us as people. Like that's
Oh.
how I've noticed that we've grown, because the
That's-
number has gone up a lot. And we just wanted. We love our friends and family, but we want that number to keep growing. The ratio to switch to where it's more people are there because they like your songs.
I remember like I would be like, it's so funny because I was just like, I know you guys don't really care about this music. You're just you care about me and not necessarily the band. So I'm like, you don't have to come. I don't need you to come because you want to like, oh, I want to support John. It's like, you're not listening to my music. So it's like, it's fine if you come or not. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's great that things are growing. You're going on tour, which you just mentioned. Out of curiosity, who does your booking in your band, or is it kind of everybody, gunshot approach, or?
Mostly me and Michael handled the bulk of it, and we actually are. It's funny, the timing just has been just trying to find it. We through Say 10 Records is who we're signed to, so we have through them we've been connected to a touring agency. And we're just trying to find out the time to start working with them where it makes the most sense, just 'cause,
Oh, that
like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, for us to leave town is like a huge deal. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, if we weren't opening for someone, it would not be in any way financially viable. We would be like losing a lot of money to go on the road. So for us, I think it's about like, when we do leave, we have to really make it count. So we're talking to this agency about potentially finding spots to tour with other bands, or like not just to go out on our own. Because if we book ourselves on a tour, like the amount of work it will take to have be somewhat breaking even is going to be like, the statistically, it's like not going to happen.
yeah like we have like this like the best kind of like situation possible for a band going out on the road for the first time for this tour.
Like we're gonna.
And we're like, I think we might break even.
Could you
The
imagine
dream.
if we didn't lose
The
money? on this?
dream.
Yeah. So I think for us, I'm rambling, but all that to say is that we've been talking to a touring company about like similar bands like in this scene that we found ourselves in with the similar kind of fan base. Just
Do you mind
seeing if
sharing
we
the
can-
name of the booking? Because
Oh,
that's
yeah,
part of my
yeah.
questions was also like, who is your manager, agent? Like, do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
these stuff? So
We're kind of like establishing it still, but Happy Hearst Touring is who we've been talking to.
nice.
And so yeah, she works with a lot of people like Sarah and the Safe Word and stuff like that, like people in our same kind of world too. So it's just about finding out when it makes sense, and for us, I mean, like selfishly, but hopefully it works for everybody, that we could open for an artist that's more established our first time, and especially if it's even close. I mean, like Shiny Ribs is a great band that I love to be a part of. But musically the fan base isn't exactly the same. So I mean, we have a lot of overlap musically too, I would say. But I think for this, it's going to be like the next step for us is to not just open for a band, but open for a band like that we've in this world we found ourselves in of like theatrical evil jazz. If we can open for a band in that scene, I think it would help us grow even
Oh,
better,
absolutely.
I would
Yeah,
imagine. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make that happen. I hope next year we can do something like more substantial than just like a 12-day run, but we'll see.
I mean, that's a great start. What was sorry? And you said you have a label or a manager?
Oh yeah, so we're currently signed to. That's actually how I, again. So when we Sons of the Desert, our song came out, and that was the one that really people got into, and the comments just on the initial Instagram post were like, "This is Will Wood vibes." And again, I was like, I don't know who that is. So I'm literally Googling Will Wood, and I like 1 million monthly listeners. Oh my gosh, this person's successful. I was like, this is crazy. I don't know who this is. And it just it was like, well, people think we sound like him, and he seems like he's doing pretty well. So I literally Googled what label he was on, and at the time he was working with Say 10 Records, and so I literally cold emailed. Was just like, hey, we have a record, and at the time we'd recorded all of Don't Quote Me on that. It was mastered. We just hadn't put anything out yet, or we just releasing singles.
We put 2 singles out. Three.
That was the third single. Sons of the Desert was the third single. But we had like the whole record ready. Like we just thought we weren't gonna be able to afford vinyl, honestly, just because it was.
I mean, that's the reason we
and-
haven't done vinyl yet, is because it just doesn't seem financially viable.
And so we literally reached out, and Adam from Say 10 is just like awesome, and he loved the music, and we made an agreement there, and so it's been awesome. I mean, we really kind of stumbled into it. We got lucky, and I think because we got as far as we did without even knowing the kind of audience that could potentially like what we do. So now that I have an idea of who to be, maybe reaching out to. Hopefully, the next time we release something, it'll be even better. I mean, ideally.
So you kind of believe the cold calling approach kind of is beneficial, because I've heard from other people being like, you got to be careful with that stuff. But
well, my other cold call has been really successful as well, and I'll just name drop because they're a friend. But Sparkbird, I literally just DM'd one day.
Really?
And I kind of did that to all the people that were on our, all of people that were on like artists that you may also like on Spotify, like at the bottom. And I hit up a few people that way, and Sparkbird, Steven, is awesome, and they've just been super encouraging. And I've actually got to meet them on the road a few times.
Oh, that's great.
Like when they've toured to Houston or to Austin, they were opening for Madeline May, and I sang a song on stage. I decided for a song.
I remember that.
And that's happened a couple times now. They also came to Houston last year opening for Schaefer James, and I did the same thing. And it's just been
awesome.
like, so that it's been like a little alliance, And not every person I've reached out to has gotten back, and I don't blame them because I'm a random person and I would never hold it against them. But yeah, I just think if you reach out maybe in a sincere way, I just would hate to be like, if I read a message where someone's just trying to get something and you can tell.
Totally.
So I think it's just how I phrase it. I literally just try to be like, yeah, we just kind of discovered that our music has a lot of same audience as you, and it's glad to be included. And I don't know. I just try to approach it because I do feel really humbled by it. So I just try to communicate that, I guess. I don't know.
It definitely, it was so funny because, like, I'm following them, and I was a little too scared to actually send a message, be like, hey, I think I sent it to, like, Machinery of the Human Heart, and I didn't get a respond back, so I was just like, maybe I won't do this. This is a terrible idea.
The coolest thing was that Machinery of the Human Heart commented on a video of ours, which was
that's
like,
great.
Whoa! And then I DM'd, and I was like, I love your music. Did you see the telephone? That song is great.
They followed us eventually, because I think like the flux of it, and I keep comparing it to my friends. It's almost feeling like Thanos getting a different gem when they follow me back. Just be like, yes.
It's like all these connections I think are finally being made, which is really cool. And again, and we're just in the middle of Texas. We're so far from everything, so it's like one of the ways we can really feel like a part of that same.
You should
scene.
reach out to Waitress. I feel like you guys are close enough they're close. They're what? They're L.A. I think, and I know that's not super close, but that's closer.
Well, we'd love to go out west too. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
the more the merrier, I say. I mean, I think it's just about making all those connections and stuff.
I-
Sarah the
do-
Safe Word also has been awesome. Like Sarah's been super nice, and just to send some really kind messages, and so it's just been about I don't know, like it's just this whole world I didn't know was even a thing. So to be even in this small way included in it is just crazy.
Well, I think it's kind of funny. It was all these separate bands that were just doing their own thing, and then just honestly, it sounds corny, but it's really the fans. It's these people that were like, "Oh, I like all these bands. And then by just them all agreeing together that they all liked these same bands, they kind of created this weird internet scene. Of just bands, because it is kind of like a scene in a weird way, but we're all
And
like,
it's like a really supportive scene. Like people are into it. It's
absolutely.
Just most I don't know. I'm into bands like Dr. Dog or like Dawes and stuff like that. And there's not like chat rooms for those bands, or maybe there are, but it's not the same enthusiasm. I just feel like it's a different level of like people that are already forming online communities, and then they're in those communities around certain artists, and then it's just like you get to join the community because you're now a similar interest that they have.
yeah,
I don't know, like that's just a really lucky thing that those people would be talking online anyways. I think just about all the other things that they have in common. So now we're just one of the things hopefully that are shared, which is
exactly.
cool.
And it's so awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have been just trying to get some more of my I'm just loving talking to you guys. So but I'm like, oh, I have questions I should probably ask. So you guys are currently it sounds like you have been using some type of representation. As I'm assuming this is kind of a newer experience for you guys. I'm curious what
Yeah.
you think of going more the DIY approach versus having representation. What do you think is? Do you have one do you think is better? What are the benefits? Their pros and cons? I'm honestly just curious.
Yeah. No, I think we still are in the transition period for that. So I don't really feel like we're fully. I don't know. Like we're signed to a label, but it's not like a label that like they're just really great people that helped us put music out. But it's not like they're telling us what to do. Like we just kind of do whatever and they're fine with. You know what I mean? It's
Totally.
Really informal. These are like mom and pop type of organizations compared to when people say, "Are you signed by someone?" We're not like signed to Capitol Records or something.
It's not like they're
so
giving you like a marketing team to work with you and like
yeah. Like we're still doing everything on our own basically. And for all the local shows we book, like I'm still booking all that because it's Austin and I know the people. And I don't know. So I think maybe in a year that answer will change and I'll be able to compare the two. But it still kind of feels like we basically are just really lucky that. A label thought we were cool enough to have our music get made, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't as hasn't changed our day to day in that way. And maybe some agreements are more intense where they do that. But so far we've basically just had a nice benefactor of a label to just make our vinyl.
amazing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No management. No.
Yeah. We don't have like a manager really.
We've done some like consultations with some people who helped us like point us in some directions and things like that. But it's definitely useful. Like if you have someone who's got like not just connections, but like the right connections for your band.
Yeah.
That's
Totally.
I can see the enormous benefit of that. But like you were saying, we know the Austin scene, so we can handle a lot of the stuff.
If I'm trying to
happening
book
here.
a show at Radio East, I know who to reach out to. I don't like. Yeah, it's not like I need. Sometimes that feels like too formal to me in a local scene.
I mean, there
Yeah.
is.
But when we try to tour, that'll be great. I think when we try to like pitch to be an opening band for a larger artist, I think that where that will pay off will be like, this is so and so. Not like a member of the band reaching out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that feels like almost like, oh, this band must be really new. They're
Legit.
just starting off.
I remember hearing from somebody that they did. I'm pretty sure someone I'm planning on interviewing. They put a fake name, like oh this is a manager for like they like management of at the Upstart like so it seems like it's somebody else instead of the band.
Yeah, just put booking manager in your signature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we
exactly.
do know someone that does that, but I won't out them on a.
Well,
on
no,
the
that
stream.
that gives the con away. I'm not. Hey, I'm no
Exactly,
narc.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but for like a professional manager or like booking manager or PR person or whatever, there is like meta strategy stuff where like they might not tell you like where to book or who to talk to, but just like scheduling, like what is the new like telling you like, hey, Twitch streaming is a really beneficial thing. We should try doing it. Like I would never think to do that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here right now.
Exactly.
I know you're inspiring me.
Yeah,
That's
so there's definitely it may not be specifically about just like connections and hey, this is what your band should try and sound like or try and do or try and feel like, but hey, if your band is like knows what it wants to be, here's how you can like pace that out and like how you can structure your activity in a way that'll be effective.
And one other thing that I'll say too, just about that, is just we I think in a lot of ways lucked into whatever success you want to say that we have. It's been just because the algorithm took us to the right people, and now we have people that like our music and listen to it every. We have a certain amount of monthly listeners and all that stuff. But I think that now that we know more, again, like the kind of scene that we're a part of, I think by the time we put out the next release, the goal would be to not just have it be luck. And maybe
Totally.
maybe next release we'll try to put more thought into who we're working with and have more of an actual campaign to it, because it literally was just, I mean,
Did you?
can't
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you
kind of
how
curious.
insane
Like,
that was.
were you posting anything in particular? Was it like anything
Well,
that
it
you
was
noticed that
one-
worked?
I can totally tell you exactly what worked.
Pinpoint it.
There is like a day where I could see the Spotify streams go,
Yeah.
and
Nuts.
it literally like So what happened was, so I'm a big fan of the show Over the Garden Wall. I'm sure a lot of people watch it.
I
are.
am too.
It's the perfect seat. It's
yeah.
it's
Well, it's
just
almost
around the
ti-
corner.
Almost
I
time.
know we're getting there. We're close. And so I literally just, and again, and that didn't become because a person told me it'd be a good marketing idea. I just was a fan of the show, and our song "From the Desert," we were promoting it, and I was like, this song reminds me of that scene in this show, so I just thought I thought it'd be fun to like mash them up together, So I did that, and it just went,
and
it just kind of blew up.
and you just like phrased it like it was like, what does your new song sound like? And it's like, remember that one scene from
yeah.
it was like in the language of like meme culture at the time. So like
it was basically a POV colon, like kind of like that kind, like it was a format of a meme. And so yeah, it's like from there I was like, oh, okay, I kind of know who likes our music now.
And
But that was before the song even came out too. That was like a week before the song actually dropped.
Perfect timing.
So then everyone listened to our old stuff because they were waiting for the new song to come out, and it was just great. I mean, and I'm not trying to post every time I post to like make a viral thing, and I don't think that I don't know. I feel weird doing that, and like I don't want to like spam a cheat code to get people to like what we do or like to engage with the
Right.
post of ours. But I don't know. At the same time, it really worked a lot for us, and I just hope that people that's their entry point, and then like they'll get to know our music and get to know us, and it will like continue from there. So, anyways, but at this current time, we're definitely like gathering a fan base still. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a self-sustaining thing, so it does feel like a lot of outreach.
Oh,
a lot of our
I mean,
posts
that's-
are trying to get people brand new to us. Yeah.
That's definitely in a phase we're in. Also, is like people are asking us like, when's the next thing coming out? And I'm just like, I am in the trenches right now, just trying to get people to listen to the old stuff right now.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
we
totally
were,
feel that.
at the beginning of last year, like before that happened, we kind of were like, what's like, we've got 2 more singles we're gonna come out, and then the album's coming out this year, and it's like, well, like we have like stuff to put out. It's like wait, what are we like trying? Like, what is our focus right now? And I remember we set like, we need to focus on like finding out what our audience is, and like not just from like a let's get them to listen to it, just like finding out like who wants to listen to this.
Yeah,
And-
what not even just what music they like, but what does the person that listens to Wrongbird, what are they interested in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Over the Garden Wall was such a great thing to connect to us, because it's a thing that people, if you're into it, you are into it.
Oh yeah.
And so that amount of passion, I think, kind of translated well to us. And then another musical example, Will Wood, again, is like an example of when people are into Will Wood, they like are into him. And so it kind of similarly translated to like, I don't know, it's like not just interests of people, but like these like kind of cult audiences.
I think it's honestly he's very
Yeah.
mysterious, which
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
you don't like as a White Stripes fan. That band was so mysterious back in the day. You like, are
Oh,
they
yeah.
related? Are they brother and sister?
Very.
What's going on? Yeah, you know, like what is happening?
Yeah.
And he has that mystique about him. Yeah, and I will say I'm always kind of surprised that you guys get compared by Will Wood because your guys are a ringer for Tally Hall. Like that's the
Oh,
comparison.
that's happened too. That has happened
okay.
too, actually.
More
I
so,
was gonna
yeah.
say, I'm like, guys, come on, it's right there. It's the
I
Tally.
took that and ran with it a little bit, and I did a cover of
Playing in the sand.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that
yes.
cover.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely happened too.
But yeah, you just started, but like we were like, let's do that, and you started posting. We were like, let's make sure that we like are continuous with like posting like regularly, and
Mhm.
so we just ultimately had to be like creative about like ideas about things that we put on like TikTok or Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, and one thing I found is that like TikTok for all, I mean, I don't know, it just really, at least for us last year, it just knew how to get us in front of the right people. It was great. Like the accuracy of that was just really lucky for us because we.
I
every
feel like
time I'd post a clip, it would be like, I love this. How did I know about this band before? You know, all the time.
that's amazing. I love that. Yeah, we definitely. I've realized something with TikTok because the only reason I think we did well on TikTok is because I'm so obsessed with TikTok. Like I watch it every day. It's a real problem, but it's because I've gotten very familiar with it. So I'm like, oh, this is purely an entertainment format. Like, if you don't grab somebody with something, you can't just try to like pitch them on you at that point. So I'm trying to remember the artist. There's this artist on TikTok as well. Doesn't have the same vibe, but he would release mini music videos, and I really liked his stuff. So we started doing that because I was like, oh, it's a little piece of, you're getting something out of it. You're getting a little video out of it as well, and that really is what helped us a lot. Is just having these mini music videos, which you talk to everyone in my scene. That's all I'm ranting about. Is just do these videos.
In fact, I've obviously seen your guys' stuff too, and I've been really like, we've gotten as far as we have without like really putting the production value. You guys
Yeah.
really like do a whole set piece, and it's really cool.
It's
And
all
I
me,
feel
baby.
like-
I
Yeah.
go to I'm
That's
at
awesome.
my office at 3 a.m. with my phone like duct taped to the ceiling so that I got like a button I can press to make it go.
That's awesome. No, that's really cool.
That's nuts.
I've been thinking when we start releasing more new stuff, I really want to make the visual component of it like more interesting, like the way you guys do stuff. Because
Yeah.
so far it's just been like, hey, you like these bands? They'll probably like us.
and that still works
Yeah.
though. Like
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'll be honest,
It's
I have
being
trouble with
honest,
those.
too, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like it's like you just want to be like, I don't ever want to assume someone will like our music if they're into other bands, but I always just try to phrase it as like, well, if you're into this scene of people, you might enjoy what we do, and I'd
Yeah.
love it if you listen. And then I always try to just be appreciative, and every time I make a post, I'm like, if anyone's listened to us because of this, that's insane. Even if it's one person, and sometimes it is one new person got into us, that's awesome. I expect nothing in return, basically.
Yeah, that's amazing. This whole this whole racket we're all playing in, but it's important, you wouldn't be reaching these people that you in a million years. Like, it's so funny, we got so many people from like Russia following us because
Wow.
I'm like, I can't even read what the names are on their thing. I'm like, it's got to be Russian. It looks Russian. Or that made-up language in the My Chemical Romance live shows that they have.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Our thing, we have a lot of, and it's funny because Michael and our drummer Tim are both dual citizen from Britain and here. So we have a lot of British fans, which is just really cool.
Oh, that's great.
And
I
we
mean,
hope
British
to
fans are
have-
dedicated too, though. That's what I've heard.
We have a whole on our Discord. There's wrong Brits. Like there's it's like there's like a good portion of the people there, and like our monthly listeners, we have a lot of Australia and a lot of England,
Yeah.
and it's just like, well, I would love to tour there. That sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
And I always feel bad because how are we gonna get to England?
You look at those plane
And
tickets and you're
again,
like, ugh.
yeah, we would need to have some pretty good guarantees at the venues out there. So, but it's long-term goals, and now it's just it's knowing that there are people there for us, and who knows what's going to happen next year or the year after.
Amazing.
We're in it for the long game. So, yeah.
Well, that's a great segue into my next question. Let me get the since you're applying for the position, let me
Yeah.
where do you see the band in 1 to 5 years? Let's
Yeah, well, hopefully with at least a few releases, as opposed to taking 5 years to make one album. But yeah, I think
basically future
yeah.
goals, just like things that you got on your.
I would love to see us traveling more outside of Texas and becoming less of. And even though it's funny because we're not like a local band in the way that most people are local bands, we just exist in a city. But I would love to have, as much as our ability to travel would grow and people form a scene around what we do, hopefully, we also would love to, I think, be more of a local Austin band. It's like I want to grow both simultaneously, Like I want the online thing to keep going, hopefully, and for us to be able to tour, a few times a year. And I'm not like overly expecting to be filling 1,000 capacity rooms or anything, but I would love to be able to like tour with somewhat consistency and like know people will show up. That would be by 5 years if we're doing that and we like know the size of club we can play and kind of expect a certain amount of we know what routes work for us, and I would love to have some regular people that have seen us a few times and know all the words, and I mean that's the coolest thing. And then at the same time, I'd love as a band in Austin to rise within the it's a highly competitive, not competitive in an aggressive way like we were saying. It's really welcoming, but
Yeah.
it also is so much other music being made in Austin. To stand out in Austin is really difficult. So
It's a quality issue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd like to just be, a part of things like ACL is huge in Austin. Some of the bigger, like Blues on the Green is a big festival in Austin. Like some of the really like notable things you can do in Texas in terms of big festival slots. And
Have you
if
done
we're
South
doing that
by
in
South?
5 years. Well, yeah, we've not been official.
Oh.
Every year we get our
Is
yearly
anyone?
rejection letter. It's great. I don't think we're gonna apply this year. I think we're just because and actually as an insider in Austin, I'll tell you that the unofficial stuff is almost always better, anyways.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
You can go to things for free, and it's honestly a better experience. And we do unofficial shows every year. So, but yeah, I don't know. Just to be that's the goal I think I have for us, in addition to just our audience growing.
Just
But
world domination.
yeah.
Just like,
There we go.
I should have
That's
just
the
said
drive.
that. I should've
You were
started
being the
with that.
politician about it, and this man's just
Yeah.
speaking truth.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we're doing a lot of stuff right now towards. I mean, obviously we're writing more stuff as we go.
Yeah.
But we're also like doing a lot of work towards making our live show into like a real like punchy production,
Oh, that's another big.
Yeah.
Goal of mine is I see bands like the Toxhards. You know that band?
Oh yes, those guys.
I see their production value at the actual show, and just I don't know, like that would be the next thing. Because I think our songs are I'm really proud of our songs, what we have written, and what we're writing currently, the new stuff. But you hear the dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
ignore that.
That's Michael's dog.
His name's Rigby. He's a
Really
sweetheart.
cute.
Oh.
But yeah, I think like taking the production value when you get to the point where you have a bigger audience and you can have like the backdrop and I don't know, you can just really make all these set pieces shine. I think would be great.
Oh,
He's gonna
totally.
do a dog check. It's just me and you now.
That's fine. I feel that way. It's a bigger band, but honestly, I should look more. I should go. I don't know when they're going to play New York because I would love to see them live because they, obviously I've seen Angus, the prize-winning hog.
Yeah.
But a band that I always. Oh
Hey,
my God.
there's a Rigby.
This is where we get the clicks,
Hi.
folks. The dog.
Oh, my
That's a
goodness.
cute dog. Oh, cute little
guy.
baby. What was I saying? Oh yeah, 21 Pilots. I feel like they kind of really are pulling that like them, My Chemical Romance, having those like live show kind of setups.
Yeah. I think when you
is-
get to the point where you grow and you can actually invest in that, because right now
yeah.
the most we can invest in is like good hopefully cool clothes to wear on stage. Like,
Yeah, honestly,
we don't
same.
have like the actual
Clothes and
production
banter.
budget.
That's the things you got to go with.
Yeah, that's all we have. Which I think we do pretty decent. But
Yeah, totally.
but down the
Um,
line, we would love to have that be a part of our show too. Like make it like a thing. They did that at this show, and
Yeah,
it was
totally.
a memorable thing you don't see often. I don't know.
I
That was really vague.
No, I get it because there's like that's honestly a big. Funny enough, when I go to a lot of shows now, that's what I'm looking for. Is like, what are they doing besides the music to make it engaging to watch? Because like I've been to shows. Confetti cannons is an interesting one, but I'm just thinking, oh, this is a pain in the ass to clean up. It seems like a lot of fun, but unless you got someone you could pay to clean it up, I don't want to deal with that
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, and
We're not gonna get blacklisted from any venues for doing that. Hopefully.
At my college, what was the band? They did, I'm forgetting the name. Anyways, we were doing this sustainability concert. You know, it's about being green and being like, environmentally friendly. And then they just start shooting off confetti cannons, and you're like,
Wait
"What
a
are you
second.
doing?" I'm like, "That would be
That's
cool,
awesome.
but just you're not reading the room, guys. What are you doing?"
Not a hint of irony was detected.
Yeah, I know, right? It was a touring band. You clearly like, oh, that's what you do at your shows. You're doing it anywhere. But
It's a clause in the contract. That
yeah,
have
it's
to
just
have their
in the
confetti.
back of your brain. You're not thinking about it.
totally. Okay, guys. Well, I think we're getting close to the end. I feel like we've run. So we're about like an hour, 45 minutes. This show's just gonna be long, unfortunately.
No,
I
it's
can't-
Oh, it's not
great.
good.
We could talk all night, man. It's great.
I appreciate that, but we're gonna go with. Oh, you know what? I will go with 2 questions then. If you're okay with this,
Sure.
we talked about this
Hit
before
us.
stream. Day jobs, because I feel like that's one element that I feel like a lot of people don't realize with bands at our levels is that we still got to work, and none of this stuff is paying
Yeah.
any bills. I'm assuming. Are you paying
Yeah.
any bills with Wrongbird stuff?
No, we. No.
That's fine.
We're paying Wrongbird's bills.
That's
nice.
that's
we
good.
are. We have a band fund at least,
Yeah.
which is encouraging.
That's
but
good.
instead of everything being out of our pockets, thankfully, we have a bit of a buffer there. But yeah, and I think even artists much bigger than the both of us. I think it would surprise people how many of them have day jobs as well.
Yeah.
Just for the record, also, I think it does go
I-
that way too.
that's
But,
why I'm asking these questions so that
yeah,
people
yeah,
can be
yeah.
aware of it. You know?
Oh sure, and so for me, I mean, yeah, I'm lucky where I do work at a music school. I'm a registrar there. That's like a thing I do very part time, because my other day gig is playing in another band. So I mentioned Shiny Ribs earlier. I'm the keyboard player of that band. So
Yes.
that's like what I do. Yeah, thankfully my day job is also music. So, and I get to meet people and venues and bands, and it's been great for networking and for growing.
I am
Yeah.
curious about that because I work in a totally different field. I work in an office all day, so I'm very curious. I would be concerned. Do you have any issues with burnout with that? Just doing music all the time, every day? Because I feel like I would get a little, like, you don't get like a bit of a buffer because it's like, oh, you're paying your bills and then you gotta obviously do the.
I think we're thankfully it's not a band that travels for month-long tours. The farthest we
Right.
go is like a 2 or 3 week thing. So I don't feel crazy burnt out, and there's always breaks in the schedule. And
Oh, that's good.
I think more what I feel is, because it's a larger band than my band. It's so sometimes I like feel the thing of like, if I was doing this with my music, I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
the
love the
jealousy.
music of the artists that I'm playing too, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's like that feeling of like, oh, I just can't wait till I'm doing this with my own stuff. But then you have to be able to afford to live, to invest in your own stuff, to grow. So it's like, it's that balancing act of like, I have to.
I
and-
imagine
and
that helps a
yeah.
little bit to
It
kind of give
does,
you that
it definitely
motivation.
Does. I'd say it's motivating, and the only other kicker I would say is that I might have mentioned it earlier too, but like, there's only so many days in the week to gig, and usually you're gigging
Yeah.
on the weekends if you want to play a good show, and so this band is more active than my band because they're more of a well-oiled machine. They've been around for much longer,
Right.
and so they're playing. I mean, they get booked out way farther in advance than I would book ourselves. So it's just one of those things you're kind of fighting over the calendar sometimes, and I'm gonna take the larger bands gigs because I kind of need to. So-
Totally.
And I love it too. It's not like I'm not a prisoner by any means, but just to be able to invest in our own stuff, you have to find those times of like, when can I book us a quality gig on a weekend, or I don't know.
Well, it's kinda like,
navigating that.
It's the same issue as like, I only have a certain number of days off a year. I have to basically
Yeah.
hoard all of my vacation days to possibly go on tour. So
Well, that's Michael's.
Yeah,
I'll let him talk about himself now.
yeah, I'm an engineer, and I started a new job in June, and it was like a big thing when I was like talking, like negotiating it. I was like, hey, I have a tour booked in September, October, and I need this much time off, like pretty much right off the bat. And so
Yeah.
I just need to know that I can do that, because it's going to be a very short notice, and I'm going to be gone for a little while. So, and so they were cool with it, so that was good. But yeah, that's kind of like the way that I do it, because I'm a work 9 to 5. It's work from home, but which is very nice, because it allows me the flexibility of like, as soon as I'm off, I'm like, get this, like tomorrow night, as soon as I'm done working, I'm gonna have the living room set up for rehearsal.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, nice.
we're rehearsing tomorrow. And
could you do the work on tour? Like, are you capable with your type of work?
I'm gonna not test it on this one, but I'm gonna like feel it out. I could. So like, I just work on the laptop, and I can just bring that with me. But it's also one of those things where, this is gonna be our band's first tour. This is the longest tour I'm gonna be.
Yeah, our
have been
first
on.
tour out of state and like really traveling.
Yeah.
Mazel
Um,
tov.
For longer than a weekend.
And
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be burning my time on the road with the guys by like, I gotta check in and get some work
Yeah.
done. And
Yeah.
when I've already like kind of confirmed that I can go without, so I'm gonna enjoy this tour as much as I can. But there is kind of that benefit of like, as long as I have like an internet connection a little while, I could work on the road, but it's
Not
in the
ideal.
back of a car on a laptop or something.
Yeah, I with Shiny Ribs, we tour a little bit longer sometimes, and I've definitely seen. I know there are people that work remotely that are in the band for that group, and sometimes I just like look at it, I'm like, that sounds miserable, because
Yeah.
you're like, because
Yeah.
also like tour is, it's not like on
Grueling.
vacation, it is a lot of work, and you're
Oh,
travel-
absolutely.
you're exhausted, so I'm like, I cannot imagine like, having to do job stuff while you're also traveling on
Yeah.
tour. It just seems like a lot.
I remember seeing some posts up from a metal band basically showing their like video of their stage show and just how big and like the crowds are full, and then like the next shot is them at like a gas station like bar working on laptops to do their day job.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
So,
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say also just is funny about you talk about time off. Like my wife and I, we just had a daughter.
congratulations.
Thank you very much. At the beginning of the summer, and I just got hired at a music school. I work there and do lessons and work in the office there and stuff. So I had gotten hired and then instantly took off for our daughter, so I could spend time with her and not be in the. And then I had this tour coming up too, and it's been like, hey, I've been gone and I'm gonna be gone again. I'm so sorry.
At least it's like music related, because then like I get
no,
it
they,
a little
they
bit.
totally get it. They've been
Yeah,
really
Yeah.
kind.
that's good.
But it's kind of funny.
Oh man. All right, my
Asking for
last
time
question.
off. Yeah.
My
Oh, no,
last
hit it.
question for you guys. Just a quick one. What are you guys listening to this week? Any new bands, songs in particular? Anything on the loop for the fine people at home should check out?
The new Big Thief album.
Ooh.
Then listen to that. I've been listening to a lot of mid 2000s like indie rock, like Block
Oh, yeah.
Party and Death Cab and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
That's been a
Dude,
lot of fun.
I love Block Party so much. They're so
Yeah.
good. Oh, hard to
What else?
imitate though. They
I'm
move too
pulling
fast.
up my Spotify as well.
It's nuts.
Man, I've been listening to a lot of Devo.
Oh,
this
Devo?
week.
Nice.
I had a Devo phase this week. Like literally, I'm like rocking my daughter to sleep, and her eyes are closing, and then like in my earphones, I can't get no satisfaction. But she's just like, she doesn't know what I'm listening to at all. It's been really funny.
Why is Dad jerking
yeah.
around so much? Listen to Devo.
Yeah.
The new Alex G record as well. I like that. a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, you know
what's
what's
stuff coming out?
something I would recommend.
Rufus
Oh.
Wainwright. Have you ever listened to any of his solo stuff?
Oh.
It is There's some great stuff. There's a self-titled album that I love a lot from like 2003, I think. I've had that on repeat a lot.
Nice.
It's really like kind of Baroque pop, kind of chamber pop sort of thing.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
voice is great. Yeah, and he's a piano player too. I don't know. I've been really connecting with that recently. It's been inspirational in terms of like hearing arrangements that I like a lot. I sent it to Michael. I was like, listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I actually have something for you guys to listen to. Do you, this speaking of 2000s indie rock or indie bands, April Smith and the Great Picture Show.
Yeah,
want-
man, I know
Yeah.
that band.
Yeah, I was listening to Terrible Things. That was the song I was listening to.
Oh,
this
that's a
week.
great tune. That's a great
Yeah.
tune.
Nice.
Yeah. That was a high school band for me. I think maybe my first entry into this whole theatrical music scene. that I
Cabaret.
didn't really know. Yeah, I mean basically, yeah. If you like her, it's more country bluegrass, but Sierra Farrell is.
Oh,
excellent.
yeah.
If you
Oh,
ever listen-
yes.
Yeah.
She's got. I'd have to look up the song. I always forget her name because the Sierra, like spelled with an S. It always throws me off mentally. Then I'm like, "Wait, how is this pronounced?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, So
Yeah, there's it's like equally country, but then there's some songs that like it'd be like a Cab Calloway song.
Yeah.
You know,
She's
or
got a lot
Yeah.
of bluegrass too.
Yeah,
Very good.
Really, been that stuff's always on loop for me. And I should say Shaky Graves too, because he just played a show in Austin, and I wasn't able to go, but our friends, but our friends were there, and so I've listened. And he was the artist that kind of brought me to Austin because I just was so into his music, and it turned me on to the modern iteration of the Austin scene. So I've listened to a lot of him for like.
have
for
you ever
old
listened to
time's sake.
Shovels and Rope?
Yeah, not as much, but I definitely know of them. I wouldn't be able to name a tune off the top of my head, but I've definitely heard a lot of them before.
Them and Shaky Graves. I always kind of in my brain for some reason
Yeah.
always connect those two.
I think they collaborated together, maybe.
Have they?
Or they're on like some compilation together, because I know I've listened to something and there's something that they
I'll
have
look
in
it up.
common. I know, but yeah,
think-
he's great.
Oh, you know what? It could have been that jukebox thing they did a while
It was
ago.
that. It was
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, gentlemen, thank you for joining our show tonight. I think this is a good point where we should end it. Folks at home, if you haven't got a chance, listen to the Wrongbird. They're great guys. You guys are going on tour. When's the start of the tour?
We start September 25th is the first day, and it'll be like till early October. Yeah, all the dates are online, but we're hitting New Orleans, Atlanta, Nashville, Charleston. If you live in that whole area, come see us.
Absolutely. Definitely go check them out. Follow them on Discord. We put their links in the chat. Is there anything else I should mention, boys? Anything you want us to mention?
Not particularly, but we're just that tour's coming up, and we're working on a lot of new music. It's slowly but surely coming together, and it will be way quicker than I said our last journey to the last album. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear some of these ideas that we have, because these songs are there's some repetitious themes, but there's also a lot of things that are new that we're doing, and it's gonna be some great wrong songs for y'all. So
Wonderful. All right, guys. This is the end of our stream. Make sure to follow the Wrongbirds, check out other shows, and follow your favorite crow band as well if you want. No pressure. Birds of a feather. We gotta stick together after all.
that's right.
That's right.
And let's get it #Birdfest. Let's get it started, people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I want this to manifest.
Birdfest 2026.
2026.
Wherever.
Sparkbird.
Just tell me where to go.
Yeah, we'll get Wrongbird.
Fish in
We'll
a
get
bird
everybody.
cage.
Oh my
I
god.
love it. Thanks, John,
All right.
for having us, man.
Of
You
course.
rule, man.